Okay. Wait for the people to come in, inshallah. Give it a couple minutes. Oh, good. I see my arm and my fingers. Okay, four people. Four people on the stream. Let's get salams going. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to another Super Halal Vibes. My name is Ali or Maliki Click. And with me is, I don't know, should I say Super Habibi, aka Friendly Muslim, aka the Handler. Assalamu alaikum, bro. How you doing?
Wa alaikum salam, my brother. And yes, it's very good to be here. We are streaming on the Maliki Click channel on YouTube and on the Friendly Muslim channel today. And if you don't know, let me just introduce the brother here that we are speaking to officially. You are streaming live right now on Maliki Click.
Bro, that's powerful.
Yeah, just let
Bro,
that.
just by watching that, my testosterone count went up like 200 points.
That's a good jump. That's a good jump. That's a good jump in a quick time also. And well,
Yeah.
let's see what happens. If you didn't know about Maliki Click, I am the Friendly Muslim. Nice to meet you. What's the count there?
350.
Whoa, whoa.
Bro, because it was the rock, it was like boom. And then like, the table was shaking it, bro. It was like a 8-point earthquake, man. 8-point on the Richter scale.
Well, we aim to please here in Friendly Land.
That's it. Okay, so let's just get into it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another Friday. You know what we do on Friday? It's a super halal vibes. Try to keep it halal, and we'd like to talk about current events. I know probably most of the audience is getting sick of it. I know my wife is. I know my kids are getting sick of it. But this is something that I wanted to talk about briefly. Hey, assalamu alaikum, everybody in the audience. I see you. First of all, I want to remind everybody, Super Halal Vibes is a call-in show. So you can totally, I think Friendly Muslim's going to give the link, put it in the chat, inshallah, the comments, and you can come up and we could just chop it up about everything. That's kind of like what is missing. And on this show, I want to remind everybody, this show is not a show where we're going to tiptoe around things. If you want to talk about something that's really, really difficult, this is the place, this is the time. Let's go. We're going to talk about it. Any and everything. Keep it PG. If you want to go PG-13, that's okay. But, if it's important, we'll talk about it. So, exactly. Joy says, press, what did she say? Press like the like button with the strength of an asteroid. MashaAllah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Andrew Tate. I know a lot of people are sick about that, but to me it's normal. If somebody becomes Muslim, it's good, mashallah. But this Andrew Tate, I made a video about him on TikTok. A lot of people are reacting, I think personally, in the wrong way. People are saying, well, some people are saying, bro, did you heard what I said? I mean, what people are saying on Twitter, that this one woman said, if Andrew Tate becomes a Muslim, she's going to leave Islam. Like, how does that make any sense at all? At all? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're seeing a volume of different reactions going on. And for someone to say, well, if this person's coming in, then I'm leaving, as if it's some sort of rotunda of a club, basically, and there's a rotary door that, people are gatekeeping Islam essentially, and your religion, your faith, your connection with the Creator is dependent on who enters the club. I mean, things like this, may Allah protect us from these trials, and our brothers and sisters in Islam do not be steered by this sort of thought pattern at all. It's a very dangerous thought pattern, and you then have to see, well, where is that person's Islam where they can make these public statements? What is their the state of their fitra? And so it brings more questions indeed. What were your initial thoughts on that, brother?
When he became a Muslim, I thought it was a great thing. Obviously I talk about masculinity. Some people think that I'm red pilled myself, but I'm really not. I gauge my speech about masculinity as it pertains to the Quran and Sunnah. I don't have really the way out I type of mentality, but um, I didn't mind. I mean, when you look at somebody that converts to Islam, you kind of expect that they have a past. Like nobody that comes to Islam doesn't have a past. Like nobody that is a Muslim, a born Muslim, you know, they have a past as well. You see what I'm saying? It's like if you become a Muslim or you're born a Muslim, you're gonna slip up, you know. And my reaction to the reactions was kind of like, why are these people going so hard on him? What if, and everybody's messed up in their life. What if you messed up? What if you cheated on your wife? What if you cheated on your husband? What if you were seen at the club one night and you're a born Muslim, by the way, and you got caught? Like let's just say that you're at the club drinking, right? And you're a Muslim. Somebody came in with a camera and said, "Oh my God, look, it's the friendly Muslim. It's friendly Muslim," and you totally got caught out. And you went home and you said, "Oh my God, astaghfirullah. Oh my God, astaghfirullah. Oh Allah, forgive me." But the public, the Muslim public, wouldn't let you go. No, 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 no. He can't be a Muslim anymore. The things that friendly Muslims said before disqualify him from Islam. So he can't be a Muslim anymore. How would you react to that? Right? And I remind everybody, when you're a non-Muslim, whether you are curious about Islam or you are not curious about Islam. Well, in this case, we'll talk about if you are curious about Islam and you become a Muslim, you're not going to be perfect. And by the way, the thing is, you're not going to have a moral compass. That's like everybody should know that. He said this, but he said this, but he does this, but he makes his money with the casinos. He made the, you know, okay, that's because he's not a Muslim. Number one, he's not a Muslim. When when I first got into prison, I was an absolute animal. And I mean that in every single sense of the word. I had zero moral compass. You want to talk about bad things? I like maybe I did more than Andrew Tate, right? I was an animal. I was out there robbing and stealing and everything else and doing bad because I wasn't a Muslim, because I didn't have the tenets of Islam, because I wasn't following the Quran. I didn't even know what the Quran was or Islam. You understand? Now, this man, Andrew Tate, comes into the religion and he is expected. Yeah, you could join Ahmed. Yeah. This man comes into Islam day one. I think the first um, footage where people start to say, wait a minute, what? Why is Andrew Tate praying in a mosque? I think it was when he was praying in the mosque, and this was still at a point where nobody knew if he was a Muslim. There was only speculation, right? Let's just say that he wasn't a Muslim. Let's just say. Now, you Muslims were already attacking. Oh, look at the way he's praying. He's praying wrong. What is he doing? He went down wrong. He's holding his hands wrong. He's doing this wrong. He's doing that wrong. He's not a Muslim. That's why he's doing it wrong. Maybe he's not even Muslim. Maybe he didn't, for God's sake, we're so critical of people that aren't even Muslim. Let's say that he wasn't a Muslim. What's the excuse? Well, because he doesn't know about Islam. He's new to Islam, right? Or he's not even a Muslim. Let's say the other scenario. Let's say that he was, a new Muslim day one. How do you expect to pray perfectly on day one? I think we're way too critical um, with people that are new to Islam. Not only that, I think that we're critical with people that I think we're critical in general, period. And that needs to stop because I've seen a lot of people run away from Islam. I've seen a lot of people lose hope, that we expect each other to be perfect. And we're so quick to ostracize or remove people from Islam that slip up. You know, it's just that's how I reacted. I reacted and I said, "Okay, mashallah. You know, here's another brother that's finally found the truth, and he came back home. Um, I really have no right to react negatively because I don't own Islam. It's like saying, and this is like the what I wanted to get the last thing I wanted to get into, but I guess we're in it now. The thing is, what would the Sahabas do? What would they do? Now, let's say that the Sahabas in the days of Dar al Arqam, in the very, very beginning of Islam, what if one of the Sahabas said, Wallahi, and a this is what somebody said online, unfortunately. Wallahi, took the name of Allah. What did the Sahaba said this? If Umar bin al-Khattab becomes Muslim, I shall leave Islam. Of course they wouldn't say that. Of course they wouldn't say that. Because what's the whole goal of somebody coming to Islam? They've realized the error of their ways. They realize the truth. And of course, by default, they want to become a part of that. So, like, what are we doing? Are we only accepting people that are good? Are we only accepting people into Islam that don't have a past? Are we gatekeeping? Are we going to what's next now? Are we going to do background checks on people? Oh, you want to become a Muslim? Okay, well, okay, first name, last name, social security number, date of birth. Okay, I'm just going to run you through a real quick background check to see if there's anything in your past that's questionable. Is that where we are today? Where we gatekeep people, gatekeep Islam? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I reacted. It's just ridiculous.
No, there are other thoughts that fine. He's been very public. He's said a lot of things. Um, and is it too soon to trust the power of Islam? And that's something that's come across. And for me, we've seen this historically. It would be beyond me to say that it's not in Allah's power that someone changes in an instant, in a second, once they take their shahada. The responsibility of being a Muslim, the change in thought, the submission can change someone, can bring them. The truth will set you free, essentially. Alhamdulillah. So this is where, again, our brothers and sisters need to realize that someone coming into Islam needs to be afforded an opportunity, inshallah, and be surrounded by the right type of people. Uh, Assalamu alaikum, Ashra Engineer.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Welcome, man.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's an honor to be on your show, Brother Maliki Click. Alhamdulillah. I was so
Jazakallah.
happy, inshallah. When I first saw you, I was so happy, mashallah. Allahu A'lam, yani, this is just what I see, mashallah. You are someone who, mashallah, has nur on his face, mashallah. I pray to Allah Azza wa Jal that He increases you.
Ya Rab. Yeah, that's just the El Gato light in my face, man. It's not Noor. I'm just a regular person.
Subhanallah.
Assalamu
Jazakallah.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa
Welcome,
alaikum
Ahmed.
assalam.
Jazakallah khair, brother Ali. How's it going, man? Super Habibi.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, how's it going,
It,
Super Habibi?
Alhamdulillah, very good. Super Habibi
Are
is
we?
feeling good today.
Are you the handler or Super Habibi today? Which one is it, man?
Oh, I'm friendly Muslim, and on the top we got Super Habibi because we're on the Super
Okay.
Halal vibes
Okay.
today. So yeah, yeah.
Good
I'm
to
keeping the handler in the back at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Don't worry, it's a chill stream. He doesn't have to come out today.
nah.
Yep.
So
Jazakallah
what
khair.
are
Abs-
your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Well, my thoughts on Andrew Tate is, first of all, when I saw he was like praying in a mosque, I was like, what? Interesting. Um, to be honest, like, the man has always been praising Islam. He's always been saying, "Oh, Islam is the solution." He never said. I've never heard him say that Christianity is the solution. And not to insult Christians, but it's just the truth, man. Like, I've always heard him say Islam, 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 and again Islam. He's always been a supporter of Islam. I think he accepted it in his heart before he confessed it with his tongue. But mashallah, he got finally he accepted it, embraced it, like, just fully, you know. And that's good, great news. Alhamdulillah, may Allah keep him steadfast. And it's always with the heart. It's always with it. Like, he, as I said, like, he accepted it with his heart first. He got in there, because this man, like, I think he has knowledge about life. He is he has, let's say, he has moved on, like, to a high point in life. Like, let's say he's living a good lifestyle. I guess what's good to him. But I think with his knowledge about life, with his experience in life, mixed with Islam, it'll make a great combination. Because the man's tough, and I think with Islam, he's gonna get even tougher, man. And this guy, inshallah, I'm sure he'll be a very good die. I'm sure he'd make a great die, because the man's like, mashallah, and he's good. May Allah guide him. May Allah guide him even further
I
into the
mean,
deen. May Allah keep him steadfast. He's just another brother who was given the privilege of joining the deen. Um, but he is, inshallah, one of the, let's say, he's going to be one of the main, like, yeah, like, my opinion, what I think is that he's going to be one of the good guys, inshallah. Like, maybe if he gets enough knowledge about the deen, he'll be able to contribute something to it, inshallah, I'm sure.
this is the thing. What if, right? Like, we don't understand that this is already a part of our own seerah, right? What if Andrew Tate buried a baby, not only a baby girl, let's say three of them, buried his own daughter alive? Okay, that's one thing. He's done it. Everybody knows he's done it, right? Let's say that he has a drinking problem. Let's say that also he worshiped gods of stone and wood. Yeah. Let's say that he treated women very, very terribly. Now, all of these things which I mentioned happened in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and before. And yet you never hear Sahabas gatekeeping Islam. You have a man named Wahshi, who is the one that killed Hamza, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now, this shahada was accepted, except Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I accept your shahada, but please make sure that I never see your face. Right? And we understand why. This is a man who is a part of the adult entertainment industry. Okay. He's got casinos, he's got this, but I find it really, really troubling that Muslims are so, we talk about Rahman, Rahim, in Allah Ghafur or Rahim. Allah is merciful. Oh, Allah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. We want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, but we don't want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive others. Like I said at the beginning of this, he's doing all of these things because he has no moral compass. By the way, we have born Muslims that do worse than him. We have born Muslims, oh yeah, that go and gamble at the casino, that womanize, that go to clubs, that watch porn, that do this, that do that. And all of you that are listening, you know who I'm talking to. You know that it's true. What if everything that I just named you did and you were thrown outside of Islam? Born Muslims are doing this, right? For the first time, I remember when I went to the UK, and my buddy took me to a halal butcher shop. And for the first time, I walked in and I saw halal meat and then hard alcohol on the other side of the store. Like there were shelves of alcohol, like hard alcohol. And I looked at my friend and I said, this can't be a halal butcher shop. There's no way. No, yeah, it's definitely a halal butcher shop. Yeah, it's halal. Salam alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. We have Muslims that own liquor stores. Everybody knows that, right?
Yep.
We have Muslims that are sacked up in the bed right now with people that they're not married to. Okay? We have Muslims right now that are looking at naked people in porn right now. We have Muslims that are smoking weed high as hell right now. Okay? But we think that if this man comes to Islam, somehow that he's going to degrade Islam or that he's going to make Islam invalid or less. No. Um, you could never, ever in your life make Islam low, right? What is the whole purpose of Islam? To bring people to salvation, right? So we want the bad people. How do we turn away bad people if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't turn bad people away? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O son of Adam, if you didn't sin, I would destroy every single one of you. And then I would create another people who would sin so that I could forgive them. In Allah Ghafur Rahim. And that's what we're talking about. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't take away from the value of Islam. This guy can just repent. He's good. And Islam wipes away everything you've done before it. Like everyone, brother Ali. I mean, like you've been to prisons even. Like, but when you convert to Islam, do we say, oh, you're damaging Islam? No, I mean, that's not how it is. And everyone's forgiven. Everyone's forgiven. Like, imagine those polytheists at the time before they accepted Islam. They were committing the worst crime against Allah, but yet they were still forgiven. I mean, come on, what's worse than shirk? Nothing. It's the top. It's the top at the top, right over there. Number one, like horrible crime against that you could commit in Islam against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to associate partners with him. And like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Sahabi. Uh, his name was Abdul Kaaba, the slave of the Kaaba. And everyone, like Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, he used to worship statues made of dates. Even like didn't like there's narrations of him saying that he used, like, they had gods made of dates, and if they would get hungry they would eat them. So they were all committing shirk, but then when they accepted Islam, they became the greatest of the greatest. And today we know them as the Salaf as-Salih, the great the ones that were before us, the great predecessors, like the ones, and we take our religion from them. They've transmitted it to us with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today we're not sitting and saying, oh, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh used to do this, Umar radiallahu anh used to do that, just to mock them. No, we learn from them. We say they used to do this, but Allah guided them. They became this. So Andrew Tate coming into Islam, like, with all of these things that he has, all these sins, all these stuff that is known about him, I don't think I don't think it's that big of a problem. Like, he'll be able to get over it soon enough. Trust me, the man. Like, I'm sure he'll be able to do it, inshallah. Uh, like, it's gonna be a very simple thing if he just sticks to it, if he dedicates himself, and if he truly believes. You'll never see him gambling, smoking, all these other stuff you mentioned, Brother Ali. Trust me, because just the same way, although they're greater than us, but all the same way that the companions, radiallahu anhum, abandoned all of these bad things they used to do, all of these horrible acts they used to commit, and became the greatest of people, Andrew Tate can do the same. Except they're just at a higher place because they did even more. But trust me, Brother Ali, it's just a matter of time until Andrew Tate, inshallah, he'll be used to the religion. He's going to be used to practicing it. And we're in, like, trust me, if you hadn't known that, if you hadn't known that it is the truth, he would never have converted to it. He would never have dedicated himself to it. So inshallah, it'll be a simple thing to do. May Allah guide him, make it easy for him, and keep him steadfast.
Brother, I
And
want to
so,
touch on, if you don't mind, I want to touch on a statement made by sort of Medina Dow in a comment. I've gone through this, and I think this has been something I've heard also voiced, and we've had privately, we have discussions about this also. There's online discussions, and behind the scenes we kind of say, well, look, let's reflect, let's ponder, and I think she's aired the fear, brother, is that he would twist Islam in the public light and misrepresent the truth and our women's rights. I think that's more what some are concerned with. Regardless, we must give him, and I think she's then put time, a chance, and time. So I think that's more of a reasonable perspective in some answers. And again, this has brought a lot of dialogue. I mean, he himself has streamed to multiple channels on the internet. It's being blitzed everywhere. They've created multiple channels on YouTube, and they're still pumping out his interview everywhere. So again, is this good for Islam? Is he putting himself on such a pedestal in a way where people will look to see his every move, and to make sure that he is representing Islam in the correct way?
I
What are
mean,
your
I
thoughts
don't
there,
think that
brother?
I this is the thing about, if he misrepresents Islam, um, he can't. Not on my watch, not on your watch, not a, he can't tell us what masculinity is because we already had the definition of it, right? Just like a lot of other born Muslims have some wild ideas from their culture that have nothing to do with Islam, right? I don't think that I think that what he needs to do is probably humble himself a little bit, right? Because and look, we all need to do that. We all need to humble ourselves on a daily basis and, reevaluate what we're doing in life, through tazkiyah and all that. But I think that he's going to be okay. I think that, unfortunately, well, I watched an interview with him today where he was, oh man, who was he with? The MMA. He was with somebody in Dubai, and they asked him, some questions, and he was like, "Well, already, I've been seeing online that there's some negativity that people are saying about me, and there's also some positivity. People are saying more positivity than negativity." And he said, "But I'm gonna be all right. It doesn't matter to me. I'm used to this stuff." So I don't think that he's gonna be too um, bothered by it. But trust me, we are watching him. The people that, especially the men that understand what true masculinity is, we are watching him. But if he makes a mistake, we are his brothers, and we are here to and advise him, with a kind nasiha, with manners, right? I think that if he messes up versus somebody that was born a Muslim messes up, they're going to slaughter him and give a slap on the wrist to the born Muslim, right? I think everybody has it out for Andrew Tate, but before we move on, I kind of wanted to just welcome everybody. There's 30 people, 38 people in the stream. If you could share this stream, inshallah. This is Super Halal Vibes. I come on every single Friday night, and we just chop it up about any and everything, and everybody's welcome to come up to the stream. Um, there's a link that's on the top. I believe that the brother pinned the link to come on the show. Um, Before we move on, though, the last thing that I wanted to ask, friendly Muslim, is there was a statement by Jordan, that
Yep.
that you wanted to read on here. What was he talking about?
Yeah, no, no, absolutely, brother. I'm gonna just share that. It's back here now. Okay, let me just get that. Okay, so I would advise us all to observe silence about him. Neither should we vilify him nor praise him as Islam's hero. We shouldn't do the former because we don't hold a convert's past over their head. In the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, companions like Saiduna Umar and Khalid, may Allah be pleased, had violent and questionable pasts. We also shouldn't make him a Muslim icon and social media figure. Uh, Converts need to go through the difficult journey of molding themselves into the mold of Islam. That is hard enough as it is privately. To do it publicly is a recipe for disaster. Let's give the respect of Big Brother, raising him to the status of a leader.
I kind of
So I
agree
think
with that.
that
Yeah.
that was a fair perspective. I think that he put forward there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah, he's just like with respect to him, of course. Like, mashallah, he's a good brother. Inshallah, he's honest, but he needs to go through it, the adventure. Like, he's not like just because like we know him as the feminist fighter or the one who goes on feminist podcasts and does this and that and liberals, etc. Doesn't mean that he shouldn't go through the process of reverts. Brother Ali had to go through a process. Every revert in the chat had to go through a process. Everyone who's not here, who's also revert, had to go through a process. He still has to, as Brother Jordan said, shape himself into the mold of Islam. I think this guy, like, I think he has a good view of masculinity, but Islam will perfect it definitely. His view of masculinity, where it comes to women and stuff like him, maybe being a bit too promiscuous, I don't agree with that. Of course, heck no.
of
But
course not.
I'm sure he'll inshallah shape himself into the mold of Islam easily. I'm sure, inshallah, because the brother is always like he's always like like whenever he's been asked about women how they should be treated, he's always like, yeah, we should take care of them. We should do this, that, the other. I'm sure, inshallah, as he learns more about the religion, he's gonna get adapted to it. But yeah, like he should go through the process. He should go through the adventure, slowly, carefully, like basically what Brother Ali did. I think he'll be able to describe it better than I can.
Man, I went through it, man, big time. In every single way, man, I went through it. There's definitely a process that you have to go through. But at the same time, we really have to be careful with people, because I've seen a lot of people chased away from Islam, or not chased away from Islam. They would just say, and I say this because I did it. I did it. I got to a point where, um, unfortunately, I'm not happy to say this, um, but somebody called me a kafir inside of the masjid once upon a time ago, and I just got to a point where I just got tired of it, and I actually stomped him out right after the salah. He just called me a kafir to my face, and I actually just hit him with a one hitter quitter, and he balled up in the corner, uh, and just took it. Right, and everybody was, oh, Ali, what's going on? Oh, how could you do that? Oh, this is the masjid, and I'm kind of like saying, he called me a kafir. He called me a kafir. Everything that I have, the six-figure inheritance that I forsake, the land, the property, um, my family not speaking to me for 15 years, and you're calling me a kafir because I have a different view on a fiqh. It wasn't even an aqidah matter. It was something to do with fiqh, right? And he called me a kafir. So we really need to be careful about how we talk to people, because I mean, after that, I just said, you know what, I need to stay away from the masjid, or I'm just gonna beat people up, because I'm so tired of it. I just got to a point where, you know, that kind of stuff, or the people that I would work for, Muslims, I would actually have to ask for my paycheck. Where you're in America, nobody has to pay ask for their paycheck. You get paid the 5th or the 15th or the 5th and the 20th, whatever it's there. I have to actually, with this one guy, um, ask for my paycheck. Brother, it's Friday, it's payday today. Oh, brother, I know, but could I pay you maybe tomorrow or Monday? No, you can't. I have a family and I need to get paid today. And so this is what I'm talking about. Maybe this is a bigger discussion, but we really need to watch how we talk to people. Honestly, you know, what we say is can go a long, long way. But let's just get out of this conversation. Maybe we'll come back to it. Let's get it to the next segment, and that is Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Twitter is going crazy right now because, well, the other side of Twitter is going crazy. uh, how can I say their name? A friendly Muslim. We'll call them the Skittle Squad. That's my name for them, the Skittle Squad. So they're going crazy that Elon Musk bought out Twitter. It's official. He's made a something on his profile that says the chief twit. So he's the chief twit now. He owns it. He runs everything. And so the first day, I believe, or the first couple days, he fired the CEO, Parag Agrawal, and Vijaya Gade. I don't know how they say her last name, but they're both, I believe they're both Hindus, right? And so I think day one, he just like blew out the whole PR, or whatever they call them, like the whole what do they call it? Anybody can help. What's it called?
The department. I also heard that he went in with a sink, an actual sink
I just watched
let
that. I just watched that.
to let them know that there's going to be changes going on. And I believe it's either 38 billion or 44 billion, one of the two figures that he's now purchased. And I think it's been completed today. I think the deadline was today, and it should have been completed by the end of business, I suppose, today. Yeah, and the chief twit, as he's calling himself, which
I,
got a ring to it as well.
I mean, this is what I think. I mean, look, I grew up before the internet. I'm old. I'm 50 years old, man. So I grew up before the internet. I grew up before social media, where you had to be careful what you said. But if you had the bravery to say it and the means to back it up, you could pretty much say whatever you want, right? Um, I think these days we've gotten to a place where you have to be. I mean, if I were on TikTok right now, I couldn't say die, death, kill. Even if I said, "Well, my father got killed yesterday and he died," or you if you're on TikTok, you would be immediately flagged, like I have been 4 times. Thank you, Muhammad Jassim Udin, for the super sticker. Appreciate that, brother. But things have changed these days, and it seems to be from one part of the I'll just say it, the woke people, the woke spectrum, right? They're the ones who believe in free speech, but as long as it agrees with what their narrative is, right? So what is free speech in the first place if there's not two sides of it, right? you know um, they believe that Trump is going to be allowed to have um, his account back, and a lot of other people that to have their account back. And I think I don't know about anybody else, but I think that that's really, really important. And I'm also concerned with these. Oh God, should I go there? Maybe not. Look, we know that Islamophobia exists on Twitter. We know Islamophobia definitely exists on TikTok. That's for sure, right? Look, this is the thing. You can have discussions with people without insulting them, right? Um, I don't know. I'll say this right now. Oh, mashallah, mashallah, yay dawa, mashallah. We'll talk. Um, what was I gonna say? That totally. I got to stop looking at the comments. See, he's getting friendly Muslim. He's getting revenge on me because I always come to his streams and I talk about the shatafa, and then it just everything goes off the rails after that. This is revenge.
A nice one.
Well done.
A nice one. But yeah, no, alhamdulillah, I've been speaking to the brother, and he's making some adjustments based on his conversations with you, brother. So it's been nice to see he's developing some changes. But getting back to Elon, and these groups that you find, on TikTok and Twitter, that may do mass reporting, etc., to stop the message of Islam going around. And it's something we've got to contend with. Essentially, there are people being silenced. There are attempts, essentially. Uh, Obviously, we know that the Dawa don't stop, and but yeah, well, you were saying that you were concerned about certain groups, or you were wanting to understand how we deal with certain groups in these spaces.
I mean, here's the thing. If if we're going to talk about the First Amendment, which is in our Constitution, when we beat the Brits up. No offense, friendly Muslim. I love you, man, but 1776, man, when we got our
I just
independence,
spat out my tea.
it's the
I think okay.
it's the Boston Tea Party all over again, man. But in the
Oh,
UK, this so
all
this
right.
is the thing,
Let me
right?
take another sip while you talk. Tell us what.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? I mean, if you're going to talk about the First Amendment, if you're going to talk about freedom of speech, it has to be for everybody, right? Um, TikTok. I made a statement on Twitter today, directly to Elon Musk. I said, "Hey, way to go! This, October 27th, 2022, is the 1776, or the liberation of Twitter, because of his move to fire, that whole PR department. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Everybody get their bags and get out." Um, I said, "Can you buy TikTok next?" Because TikTok is TikTok is huge. Like, this is the thing. I used to make fun of people. a year ago. I said, bro, you go on TikTok. What's wrong with you, man? That's for kids, right? But when I got on TikTok myself to see what it was all about, I said, oh my God, like this is a huge tool. But because people nowadays have such short spans of attention, you need to catch them within 3 minutes. I mean, there's the 15-second thing, the 60-second thing, and then the 3-minute thing. That's it. Nothing over 3 minutes. And I think a huge that's a huge tool, right? Um, not to, blow my own horn, but I got on TikTok 2 weeks ago, like actively, and started posting videos. I now have almost 90,000 followers on TikTok, right? Because somehow I take that 3 minutes and I think, what can I say? What can I do? How can I inspire people back to the religion of Islam? How can I, but the way it went though, when I got on TikTok is I went straight after the Christians. I just, okay, yep, boom. Because the first videos that I was seeing is, you know, Islam is from the devil. The Quran is the satanic verses. Allah is a moon god. Uh, you know, blah 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 blah. This and that. And I said, okay, now it's my turn. And so I made a bunch of videos as an ex-Christian, and they didn't like that. My first day on TikTok, I did the Shatafa video, followed by a video going at the Christians, respectfully, I believe, reading their own scripture, their own Bible. But they didn't like that. And so they mass reported me. And the very first day that I was on TikTok, I was banned. I said, wow, that was short lived. Hit the appeal button. I was back on within 2 minutes. And they said that I was potentially causing violence, that I was being hateful. And this is the whole root of the conversation here. How can I convey, if you're so concerned, they use this term, if you're so concerned telling, I need to tell my truth, why can't I tell mine? Why can't I tell mine? If you want to claim to be champions of free speech, then you have to let people speak, even if it's against what you say, right? So Christianity on TikTok has largely been unchallenged. There's people, mashallah, like Mo Pacino, my guy Mo Pacino's out there. Mo Pacino, salam alaikum if you're out there listening. The other Mo, there's Isa, there's a lot of people going at them that are just having to create account after account after account after account because they're getting mass reported. And that's why I think that Twitter, Elon Musk buying Twitter today is or on the 27th is a huge victory for free speech. I would never believe that just because you have an idea that it causes violence to people. And if you're so concerned with violence towards people, the Muslim people have been violated and oppressed. And there's been this mass campaign since 2001 when that event happened. You know what happened. We've been propagated against for 22 years, almost 22 years, and nobody says anything. And violence has been propagated against Muslims all over the world because of misinformation, because of social media, um, because of movies, of how we're portrayed in the movies. But nobody wants to say anything about that it will cause violence towards Muslims. I mean, hell, forget violence towards Muslims and Islamophobic attacks. Um, our countries are being invaded. You have an event like, what happened on 2001, and then Afghanistan gets invaded, and then Iraq gets invaded. What? What does that have to do with anything? I don't want to get into that, but you know what I'm saying. If you want freedom of speech, if you want to talk about Christianity on TikTok, well, people like me are going to answer you who were once Christians and now are Muslims for 31 years. We have something to say too. But I don't know. I just don't think that they want other people to speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody. Asharite, man, we didn't hear nothing from you. What do you think about this, Ashari?
Alhamdulillah, I was born a Muslim, so I don't have anything to say about this. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't been listening. How do I say attentively because I'm working at the same time. So sorry if what I just said wasn't about the topic. But the
معلش يا
main
عم معلش.
Alhamdulillah, Islam. The main reason I came up here just يعني, in case someone has misconceptions about Sufism or Ash'arites, I came here to clarify. That's all. I didn't come here to debate or anything.
Brother Ali, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So, just to, like maybe outside the topic, but just real quick. Could you please tell us like what aqidah you follow? Is that cool with you?
Yeah. I am Ashari.
Sorry, what was that?
I am Ashari.
Oh, you're Ash'ari. That's nice.
Hmm.
Cool. So, like, you're not convinced in believing the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right?
Bro, I'm not gonna get into that, bro. Nah,
No, but
that's
no,
out.
but
I'm
I'm just
ready.
saying, like,
I'm ready,
just
brother
asking.
Ali, to get into this.
Yeah,
ليس
brother
Yeah.
كمثل
Ash'ari.
ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. That's all I'll say.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we say too. That's what we Athari say as well. No, nothing is like nothing is like Allah. You can never imagine what Allah looks like. Never, ever. And
Hmm.
anyone saying anyone who says Allah is a body, astaghfirullah, is a kafir. Like, that's just, nope. Wrong. That's not how
Yeah.
we see it. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, inshallah. So,
Friendly Muslim, is that still super halal vibes if we talk about Aqidah? Because I really don't want to talk about Aqidah.
it
Yeah,
is halal
no.
vibes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but we can save that for another stream because we've had other streams where we had the last chill stream last Sunday turned into a full out
Either,
2 hour debate. So
yeah.
I don't want the handler to come out. But yeah,
No,
we're
no.
trying to keep it. We've
Yeah.
got some other other topics to discuss. And
Yep.
no snake juice. I'm sipping the tea. I had to spit out of it after I heard the blasphemy coming out of the Maliki click over, departing from the land of the
The
great nation
Yank,
of Great Britain.
Maliki Click, the Yankee.
Yeah, God. Look,
Yeah, but
I'm amazed
I'm
somehow.
yeah, but I
Sorry, go
didn't
on.
come here to discuss Aqidah. Sorry. Just saying, I didn't come here to like discuss Aqidah. I'm just asking, like, just questions.
Oh,
No,
Cool then.
good.
that's fine. All
Yeah,
good, bro. I mean, I
I'm
did
still
have the.
learning myself. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, that's good. I wanted to I wanted to share the actual story of Elon Musk people, an opportunity to just handle it all out. I've got a article from I think it's from the BBC basically. I kind of outlined like what's really going on there. If you don't mind just sharing that. Look here. Okay, fine.
That's a
So,
happy man right there, man. I like his smile, man. That's a happy
I
man.
mean, 44 44 million billion, golly, just all right, I think I'll just buy the company, and that's what he's done. And again, it was going to go into litigation. So the world's richest Musk has completed his 44 billion of a takeover of Twitter, according to a filing with the US government. Okay, so they've confirmed it, and he said the bird is freed,
The bird is free.
and let the bird is freed, and later said, "Let the good times roll." Again, like you said, like our brother said, a number of top executives, including the boss, Parag Agrawal, have reportedly been fired. Mr. Agrawal and two other executives were escorted out of Twitter's San Francisco headquarters on Thursday evening. Said Reuters. A little bit of handling going on there, I suspect. I was off that night. I wasn't working, so I wasn't part of the handlers that handled that situation. I
Yeah,
assure
were
you.
you there, bruv, or what? Was that you?
Oh, no, no, I was night off, bro. Night off.
Oh, that wasn't
The
you. Okay.
no, 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 no. The completion of the deal brings to an end of months of legal wrangling, but it's prompted questions over the platform's future direction. And again, he said the bird is free. Um, Also, top again, legal stuff was going on there also. Um, so, what are the so again collective contribution to Twitter, massive talents, beautiful humans, and again, we're trying to see Mr. Musk, a self-styled free speech absolutist, has been critical. So now, what are the next steps for Twitter? What is he going to do? And I think this is the main thing that we need to see. How how essentially is he going to rebuild? What are the changes he's and do we have absolute free speech? Um, in another article, they did mention that the laws of the land will be followed. And again, in the UK, certain statements that you make can be considered hate speech. Can, if you cause alarm or distress to certain groups, can go against community standards. How far off the track is he going to take Twitter? Um, what changes do you think he's going to make? How free are we though when we come to free speech?
I think we. You want my opinion? I think we need to turn up the volume all the way, and people need to be free. I mean, look, we're not talking about letting white supremacist group or the Hebrew Israelites loose and let them say whatever they want. Look, if they condone violence or they call for violence or condone violence, no, absolutely not. They got to be permanently banned. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about, look, we live in we live in an age where you can't say what you want to say. Like, you have to think so hard, and even when you think that you are saying something good, politely, someone will say, "Huh, but you, what you say I agree with, but you didn't address me as my pronouns. Oh my God, the world is lost. Everything is lost now." And I think that's what made this world worse. You know, nobody is going to accept made up languages for you. I'm sorry. I'm If you look like a girl, guess what? I'm going to call you a girl. If you look like a man, I'm going to call you a man. I don't care about your pronouns. I don't care what you identify as, and and more importantly, I don't care. Look at me. I don't care about your sexual preferences. I don't care. Straight people don't go around and say, "Did you know that I'm straight?" Yeah, yeah, I'm straight. Being straight is so wonderful. And I just want to let you know what I did with my wife last night. Oh yeah. Yeah, just all the details. And who talks like that? Nobody. Sexuality used to be something that was very private in my day, right? You didn't talk about who you were with or what you did with, whatever, right? You didn't take pictures of a night out on the club, you know, uh, that didn't happen back in the day. Now it's, you know, I just, I don't get it how, and I don't know if I should say this, but I'll just say sexual preference. I don't know how sexual preference can be the end all be all of human civilization. Why is it so important? Bro, if you're gay, do your thing. I don't care. I still believe in your rights as a human being, right? I believe that nobody should harm you, except if we're, I'm not going to say it. You know, Sharia calls for something else. I'm talking about in the West right now. If you're in the West, guess what? I don't want to harm you because guess what? I don't care about you. I don't care about you. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're bi. I don't care if you identify as a tomato. Okay? Just keep it to yourself. And by the way, if you think that you're a tomato, I'm not gonna call you a tomato, bro. You can just, bro. That ain't gonna happen, man. Okay, you're a human being, and you can be a tomato and go home on a Friday night and roll around in Heinz ketchup and sing Yankee Doodle Dandy, whatever you want to do. And I don't care. I don't care what you do, but it has nothing to do with me, and even more, it has nothing to do with my kids. You keep that out of the schools. I don't care. I don't believe that sexuality or sexual preferences ever, then or now or in the future, has a place in schools, especially not with kindergartners, especially not with people that are in kids that are in elementary school. It has no place. It has nothing to do with ABCs and one, two, threes. It has nothing to do with Mark Twain or whatever story time, whatever book that you're reading. It has nothing to do with that. If you want to be gay somewhere else. You can walk around and be gay. Nobody's gonna say anything to you if you're gay. But what does your sexual preference have to do with my kids? What does it have to do with me? You wanting to, like the brother was saying, the Muslim cowboy earlier today on the other stream, there are kids, okay, and they're being taught by adults. I'll put that in quotation mark. Adults that identify as cats. And already these uh, adults are asking for kitty litter boxes to be put on their freaking desk. I'm not kidding. You
Yeah,
go
no,
on
no.
Google and you can see it.
I want to second that because I was on another stream maybe even 6 months to 2 months ago, and a very prominent figure that supports the LGBT community. I said,
Skittle
okay, fine,
squad.
well, if where are the lines, and I said to this person, well, I'm not sure. There's been stories breaking that there is a trend now of people that identify as cats, and students who want to actually have kitty litters put in the bathrooms, to have uniforms, have a hole cut out for their tails. Where are these lines? Where are the lines that are being drawn? And they were flustered and thought, "Oh, this is not going to be a problem. It's a trend. It's an ongoing trend." And I'm kind of thinking, well, where were these trends previously? Is it because everything is a go now? Everything is a go, and we just keep on pushing the barriers and the boundaries until it becomes ridiculous that everybody identifies as whatever they need, and it's got to be represented. Why weren't we seeing this big scale of people identifying as kittens or cats, you know, 10 years ago? Where was that 20 years ago? Where was it? Is it because it's becoming so open, pumped in from such a young age that you have to be whatever you want to be, essentially?
And here's the
Um,
thing. Here's the thing. We talk about lines. We talk
mhm.
about moving the field goal. If they always move, then they'll always move. And guess what it's going to move to? Just guess. Now, I don't know if anybody in the audience is aware of this, but there are pedophiles who are in Washington, D.C., lobbying right now. Oh, they've been there for years, lobbying, trying to pass laws for pedophilia to be recognized as a sexual preference.
Disgusting.
A sexual preference. Okay.
Yeah. It's just
Trying to
nasty.
make trying to make it law. Not not saying that, oh, I'm gay, I'm this, I'm bi, I'm this, I'm that. No, no, no. Actually to make it, because we know that the shaitan always likes to play with language first, right? The word dead is now unalive. Murder and bombing a building is now strategical force. They always like to church the words up, so to speak. So now they're in Washington D.C. talking about, yeah, pedophilia is just a sexual preference. And then what? Okay, so if the goalpost keeps on moving, what's next after that? So in the future, and there will be no doubt in my mind, if this passes, they will definitely get their way, and pedophilia will definitely be seen as a sexual preference. Now, what happens next, though? They're going to make it okay to marry young children, right? This is coming. Maybe it's not coming in 20 years or whatever, but it's definitely coming. If you have no boundaries, if you have nothing to pull you back, it's gonna come, right? Um, and that's just how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's just quoting Daniel Haqiqatji. Nasty. It's just nasty. It's very, 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 very nasty. These people, like, I love what you said, brother Ali. Yeah, if you're gay, keep it away from my children. As you said, that's me quoting you, by the way. I don't have any children yet. So just keep it away from the other people. If I were to say, hey, if I were like just to wear a kufi and a thobe and go to any school, join Islam here, learn about Islam, they'll kick me out and they call me a crazy person. And it's really odd that U.S. law prohibits the teaching of religion. They've kept God away from school, yet they're teaching sexuality. Interesting, interesting, U.S. But here's the thing, like it's really really interesting, and I think, brother Ali, like you're a resident in the United States, you have a stronger opinion than I do. I'm not, but it's really interesting the way that the U.S. government thinks. They've kept they've kept God away, but you can't keep sexuality away. You have to teach your children about this person who wants to be uh, a sodomite. I don't want to say that word. This person being a sodomite, he wants to teach your child that he's a sodomite and that your child should accept. I don't care, bro. Go do whatever you want. It's a free country, but just keep it away from me. Keep that dirt away from me. Like, disgusting. I'm disgusted by that. Do I not have my freedom? It's my freedom to reject homosexuality.
And
And
brother, that's
yeah,
the thing, though. What you talk about, you said something about taking God. That's that's what they want to do. They want to take God out of the equation, because when you take God out of the equation, then there's no boundaries to begin with, or there's no boundaries at all. Okay, well, alaikum salam.
yeah,
There's no boundaries. You can make up whatever you want, and now your religion is desire. Desire. You do whatever you want. YOLO, as they say. You only live once. When you take God out of the
yeah,
equation, they're saying that we can. You need to know about the LGBTQ community, and taking God out of the equation. That's They want to take God out of the equation because what I just said. It's um, then they would then they do whatever they want, and God is the one with the boundaries, and that's what we need. But they reject that. But I don't know. Like I said, like you said, like everybody on this panel said, look, we don't like to act what they do. We don't like, whatever. But we live in the West. Do what you want to do. You can be as gay as you want. You can identify as a banana. I don't care what you do, but I just don't want to know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand you, brother.
I don't go around and say, "Hey, Islam is so important."
Yeah.
I think that you, the Catholic school, if you're diverse and you include everybody in your curriculum, I think that you Catholic kids need to be, have a class that meets once every Friday and talks about Islam. I want you Catholic kids to learn about Islam, and you better
Yeah.
take it, or else you're inclusive. You're not being inclusive.
Yeah, Islamophobic if you don't learn about Islam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
just
what is that?
imagine, brother, imagine if we just go around wearing kufis and thobes. Oh, if you don't study about Islam, if you don't accept Islam, you're Islamophobic. This is,
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok the other day. I wish I hadn't seen it. It was someone saying that if you go to the gym, you're fat phobic. What the hell? Like, it's just, it's got to a point where it's just, it's laughable and disgusting and like so nasty. These
I think
people
I
trying to
saw.
say freedom of speech, but it's like stuff that is so gibberish. Like they're just talking gibberish. It's so dumb.
I think I
Yeah,
saw the same video that you're talking about. There's a woman talking about, if you
yeah,
go to the gym, you're fat phobic,
yeah,
and basically, she is angry because skinny people are not attracted to her.
yep,
Nobody has to be attracted to you. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
there's some skinny people that I look. I mean, back in the day, I shouldn't reveal my sins, but back in the day before I was a Muslim, and I was in the club, from across the club, I would spot somebody who was like a 10, 11, 12. And so I would go up and I would approach her to speak to her. But as soon as she opened her mouth, she was beautiful. But as soon as they opened their mouth, this particular woman or women that I've spoken to before Islam, they make themselves ugly, right?
yeah,
So I would be like, oh, you know, hey RC, Mike, come and meet Jennifer over here. Yeah, she okay. Yeah, talk to them. And I'm out and I make my escape. So I can talk to someone else.
yeah,
So it doesn't really matter if you're skinny or fat or whatever. Um, Ugly is ugly, whether it's through your characteristics or your the way you physically look. You could be beautiful but be ugly inside, and I've met a lot of people like that. So me being fit, I don't have to be attracted to somebody who is overweight or skinny. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
and don't say that I'm fat phobic. I'm sorry, that just sounds like an excuse. But
yeah, exactly.
let's get out of this. We'll go to the
Yeah,
last
but
segment.
one more thing, brother Ali. If you just one
Yeah,
thing, just
yeah,
one
yeah.
last thing. In here in where I live, we have a famous saying. Yeah, let's say it's it basically says, whoever can't reach the grapes would say that they're sour. That's
Mm,
like basically like if you can't reach the grapes, if you can't grab them, he'd come back and say it's sour.
yeah.
So like, basically, don't say that we're fat phobic just because we go to the gym and we work on ourselves, but then when you come, we're like not really into like talking to you. You know? Yeah. Anyways, let's
And
move on. Let's
I,
not
I
take too
mean,
long.
if that's true,
Oh,
because if you were to ask a person that is overweight,
yep.
you know, if I could just make you skinny right now, if I could give you a magic pill, yeah, you're asking someone overweight right now. If I could just give you a pill that would make you, buff and skinny, like a liposuction, you take this pill and you're gonna be, beautiful. That same woman would take it. She would take it. She would be like, "Oh my God, yes."
Yeah.
I think that people like her are just really miserable, and I think that people like her, you know, are lazy. Sometimes it's like, a pituitary gland or whatever, they have problems. I understand, but I don't think it's the case with her. So, anyways, we'll move on
Yep.
to our last
Yeah,
segment.
let's,
Friendly
yeah.
Muslim, you with us still?
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I absolutely am. But yeah, I was just looking at the Twitter video of Elon coming into the Twitter headquarters. I'll just, man, yeah, let me quickly
With a
check.
sink.
People may have not seen it, so it's always good to get a little bit of sync action.
Yep.
Have a look. Can you guys let me have get it up here?
Yeah, we want to see the sync action, man.
Yeah, man.
My man brought in the
Yeah,
sync.
yeah, there you go.
He's like, your days are
Is that
numbered,
making
bud.
a statement? Yeah, there you go.
And
What did
How
he
far
mean
do
by
you
that?
think he carried it though? Yeah, not far. Front from the front
But
door.
the question is like, what was the purpose of it though? Like, well, what did he do it for?
It comes from a
Kind
business term basically, to make a
of.
statement that he was let that sink in. And the second part I wanted to share with everybody is what his actual what his feelings are basically to the advertisers and people that really matter. Um, I also very much believe that advertising, when done right, can delight, entertain, and inform you. It can show you a service or a product or medical treatment that you never knew existed. But is it right for you? For this to be true, it is essential to show Twitter users advertising that is relevant as possible to their needs. Low relevancy ads are spam, but highly relevant ads are actually content. Fundamentally, Twitter aspires to be the most respected advertising platform in the world that strengthens your brand and grows your enterprise. To everyone who's partners, I thank you. Let's build something extraordinary together. And I think there's another follow up to this statement here where he says, um, the reason I acquired Twitter is because it's important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. There is currently great danger that social media will splinter into far right wing and far left wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. In the relentless pursuit of clicks, much of traditional media has fueled and catered to those polarized extremes, as they believe that is what brings in the money. But in doing so, the opportunity for dialogue is lost. So I think there's some interesting takeaways from that.
Bro,
Yeah.
bring that up. Bring that up one more time. Bring that up.
Okay, sure.
I want everybody to pay attention to something. I don't know if
All
you
right.
heard it, if you
Let's
understood
hear
it,
it.
but let's see it again.
Could you please tell us, teach us? I didn't really notice anything.
Okay, here we go. So I want people to see this. I believe him when he says this. The reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square. Stop. Stop right there. I am so impressed with this one sentence. What is he saying? He's saying essentially that a lot of people are not being heard. Everybody is paying attention to the far right and the far left, and the person that's in the middle can't say anything, right? It's true that we all need a voice. We all have to have a voice. We all have to have a town square, right? But I mean, the word it's that time of the night. My voice is going out. The town square symbolizes the world. I believe what he's saying here. Um, just because people have way out ideas, um, polar opposite ideas, it doesn't equal violence. It doesn't equal violence. And we need to, just as we've changed the narrative of language, how we speak to others, pronouns, and all of these other things, I think we need to change that too, because I'm never going to accept it. I'm never going to accept pronouns ever. I'm never going to call you a tomato or a banana. No, that's never going to happen. Take me to jail, call me a bigot, whatever you want. I'm not concerned. I'm not going to use that language. All he's saying is, it's because it's important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs. Now, range of beliefs. What does that mean? Well, he's basically saying that there wasn't a wide range of belief, right? And I'm here to change that. There was one side was being heard, and the other side was being silenced, banned, booted off, right? You see what I'm saying? That's not a town square. That's a pulpit.
Yep.
And if you're standing on a pulpit and saying, listen, you right wing uh, freedom of speech people, we believe in free speech, but only our freedom of speech. Do you understand? That's not a town square. That's not a place where people can discuss their ideas. I don't understand, if anybody wants to chime in, how language has become violence. That's something that I would never understand. Like, I've got into physical fights in 6th grade. You know, I was Norwegian. I got in a fight with this Finnish kid in the 6th grade. We physically beat the hell out of each other. Two Nordic kids, right? I had blood coming out of my mouth. He had blood come out of his mouth. Blood come out of his nose. Blood coming out of my nose. Bruised, bloody. It was terrible. Like, it took like 4 teachers to break us up. This was in the 6th grade. You know what happened afterwards? We became the best of friends. The best of friends. Still today, his name is Kari. We are still friends. But people just can't get these days, can't get past. If I say something and I hurt somebody's precious little cupcake feelings, it's violence. And if we're there at this point in human history, we're going down. If people can't express their ideas, new ideas, old ideas, whatever ideas, well, there is no civilization, because that's always been the basis of civilization. Ideas coming from this side and coming from this side and creating something and building up civilization. And if we can't do that, if we can't even speak, what's the other alternative? If you can't speak, it means that you have to obey. Shut up and obey. You know, it's like the movie 1985 almost. You're going to be told what to do. And if you go outside of the boundaries, you're done. And that's not life. And it's definitely not life in America. And it's crazy that America calls itself the champion of freedom. It's even made the First Amendment, and yet is the opponent of the First Amendment, of freedom of speech. Now, I understand what freedom of speech is. 1987. Is it 87 or 84? 84. Sorry. 1984. I understand the difference between somebody coming on a podcast and being bigoted or racist or entirely hurtful, which does nothing for a conversation. I understand what that is. And I also understand the difference between somebody coming on that same podcast and discussing his ideas or what's on his mind, which might be completely opposite to the person in which he's talking to. I understand that. But the thing is, the person who does come on and knows how to talk to people, when he says something to the other person that is foreign or disliked from the other side, it's violence. How is that? It's like we might as well be in China, in communist China, where we're told to shut up. They're told to shut up and you just obey, basically. And that's not what anybody wants. But like I said, the champions of the woke masses are saying, this is our truth and you have to listen to our truth. This isn't freedom of speech. It's a pulpit. It's a pulpit. Where'd everybody go?
No. We're listening, brother. I mean, this is the beauty of what I think he's looking at the both extremes what we see on the internet. Um, I'm just gonna tag out our Sharite brother engineer and bring in Snake Juice. Um, but it is a
Juice it up,
case.
bro.
Assalamu alaikum,
Juice
bro.
it up.
Assalamu
Alex
alaikum, bro.
says
You can only have 4 people in here.
No, we're just keeping
he
it.
was being inactive. Yeah.
No, but
maybe he's busy. Maybe he's AFK. It's okay.
R.I.P.
he's working at the same time. He's in the back. If we have a topic that he wants to discuss, then we can bring him up. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
interesting.
by the way, on that note, Friendly, and going off of what Ali's saying, I agree wholeheartedly with it. But I find it funny because they used to say, literally, Twitter is a private company and can do whatever it wants. This is the woke left mostly who used to say that when they used to censor people that are mostly conservative or on the right or Muslims, that they used to literally ban their accounts. They used to say Twitter is a private company and can do whatever it wants. And today, Billy Baldwin, or yesterday, I mean, he's an actor. He's a millionaire, well known in America. But he tweeted, and he got a bunch of likes too. He said, "Letting a reckless ideologue take full control of what is essentially a public utility less than 2 weeks before election day is insane." So notice how their rhetoric changes. Before it was Twitter's a private company, can do whatever it wants. And now when it's in the hands of someone who they dislike for whatever reason, all of a sudden it's a public utility and it's insane and he's a reckless ideologue.
yeah, narratives change, and I think that's the issue here with where does it stop, where does it begin, and who dictates the narrative. We've seen on TikTok how certain narratives are being dictated on, and again, these companies come in play, we start using them, we get used to them, and suddenly you start seeing the changes, and everybody thinks, oh, it's free, we're free to now express ourselves, and the terms and conditions start to kick in.
Bro,
Yeah.
I did a video on TikTok 2 days ago. What was the video? You know what's his name? FouseyTube. Everybody knows FouseyTube.
Yep.
He went to a prehistoric store or museum or something, and he was being filmed. And some dude came behind him with a huge snake and put it on his neck. And dude was screaming like he was a girl or something, man, like he was a little girl in preschool. He's let him off me, get him off me. Okay, bro, I'm leaving. Dude just lost it. Right. I did a stitch behind that, and I said, I included that thing, and then I stitched, and I said, all I said was this: Palestine, you claim this guy? That was it. That's all I said. I was making a joke against him, not Palestine, of course. And that video, no lie, I mean, it must have been FouseyTube himself reported me, and the video was taken off within 2 minutes. And it said that I was engaging in bullying and hateful behavior.
Wow.
Like bro, you were screaming like a girl, like you just.
People are wild, man.
Yep.
I just couldn't believe it, man. It was so wild.
That's crazy. Just like TikTok labeling you violent for a freaking comedic Shatafa video or two.
But what's funny is that no
they
one
tried to take that
reports-
off too.
Yeah. What's funny is
the
that no one.
Shatafa video.
What's funny is that these stand-up comedians, like you guys know about them, when they insult religion, no one goes. If you say, "Oh, it offends me," they say, "Come on, man, good with the jokes. What's wrong with you? Be open-minded. Yeah, it's okay. Let them insult God, whatever. Just be quiet." Funny.
Actually, stand-up comedians in America also know not to speak on certain topics, or else you'll be labeled an anti-Semite. One of them, forgot his name right off the top of my head, but he says he makes fun of all religions, but one that he will not make fun of is Judaism, because when he did so once, even though it was a lighthearted joke, literally corporations and like entities, big entities, came after him to try to shut him down, label him an anti-Semite, etc. Even though he makes fun of everybody, including himself or whatever, you know. But it's
Interesting.
crazy, and he mentioned in his stand-up routine that he mentioned all this, like he exposed it all, you know. But
Yeah, man.
people
And
notice, you know.
there's this guy called Nimesh something. He's a Hindu. So this guy is like, I'm not gonna make fun of Islam because I don't want to get Charlie Hebdo. But that's like the only reason. Basically, he's indirectly making fun of Islam, that we're all terrorists and we're gonna kill him. But he does make fun of Christianity in a very very harsh way. But yeah, like what I'm saying is, like, what's interesting about the West is that they've taken out God. They've basically said, "Oh yeah, don't worry about God," but then they brought in all of this stuff that we discussed today, and if you do go against it, you're labeled as a phobe. I mean, like the literal meaning of something phobic is like that you're afraid of it. I'm not afraid of gay people, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
afraid of it.
I hate that term too.
I'm not afraid of a trans person. I just
Yeah.
don't want them to come near me and talk to me about it and say, "Oh, if you don't accept it, then you're this." I don't care, bro. I never
Hold
said
on,
that
hold
you.
on.
Yeah,
Check
I should
check
kill
this
you.
out. This is
Yeah.
crazy. This is another. This is a Democrat. His name is Rob Reiner. I don't know if Ali knows him. He's a Democrat. His net worth is 200 million. He's an American actor, director, producer.
Hmm.
He tweeted this. He said, "Rumor has it that one sociopathic, pathologically lying, criminal, racist, misogynistic, fascist is returning to this platform. Let's celebrate by drowning him in a blue wave."
Wow.
He called him again. Rumor has it that one sociopathic, pathologically lying, criminal, racist, misogynistic, and fascist. If he says that, if he says that about
Hmm.
Musk, like what would he say about even more, let's say, extreme figures, quote unquote?
Who is he
These
talking
people are
about?
nuts. He's
I
talking
thought he
about
was
Elon
talking
Musk.
about. I thought he was talking about
Oh,
Trump for a minute.
damn.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Well, I mean, okay, all of these titles. Wow, amazing. Yep.
Okay, fellas, let's get into our last segment, and I'm not going to spend more than 10 minutes on this one. So basically, I went to the masjid today, as I always do for Jummah, made a TikTok video about it. It's kind of going to, this, I don't know if people are going to take this the wrong way, but I think that we need to speak about it. Um, so I went to Jummah, like I always do, and I felt like the imam that was giving the khutbah, and it wasn't the imam really, it was just some random dude. I feel like there's no heart in the khutbahs anymore. It sounds almost like a lecture from a professor or something. I told my
Yeah,
son,
monotone. Yeah,
yeah, monotone, and I made the video where I said, it's almost as if someone said, "Hey, Abdullah, Abdurrahman can't make it this week, so can you speak about Islam for 30 minutes?" "Oh yeah, sure. I'll look up a khutbah or something online and I'll speak it to the people." This is the thing. I know that the khutbah is supposed to be short. I know that the khutbah is supposed to be deep and come from a sincere heart. But khutbahs these days are like lullabies to me, in my opinion. And my I told my son, I said, I've inspired more people. I mean, I'm talking about just this khutbah. Like I've inspired more people on TikTok in a 3-minute video than his whole 45-minute khutbah.
for real.
And it
Yeah.
only took me 3 minutes. And I told my son, I said, look, if I were to tell you that you have 10 minutes to stand up in front of a group of Muslims for 10 minutes, and I told you only have 10 minutes to speak, what would you do? You would choose your words very carefully, and you would prepare yourself. You would take something that is happening in the world these days, We don't need to hear any more khutbahs about wudu, for God's sake. Khutbahs about wudu are for fiqh classes. They're not for a khutbah. They're for your fiqh class. Okay. Juma, we have it where we meet once a week on Friday. It's a blessed day. We talk about Islam. We inspire people. We call people out that have lost their way in that week's time. We call them back to Islam. We call for people to make tawbah and to do better, to be better husbands, to be better wives, to be better sons, to be better Muslims until the next Friday. And I made a video where I said, I have attended exactly 1,612 Jumas. And out of those 1,612 Jumas, I can only truly remember 5 that were really inspirational to me, that were life changing. Khutbahs where you're like this. Subhanallah.
Yeah.
And you're looking around at people like, are you hearing this guy? Allahu Akbar. Like I can barely contain myself. I want to say, Allahu Akbar. Wow. He just blew my mind. But this is how most of the Muslimin attend Jummah.
Yeah.
Like this. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? Nothing reaches the heart. And so we just get more and more worse. We need, look, at the masjid that I go to, there's no youth director. There's nobody to talk to the young men. I wish that they would let me in so I could have a position to counsel some of these young men, especially the ones that like to get in trouble, that are basically prison bound. I would like to get active in that. But they're just concerned with Jummah. And that's how I think a lot of us fail. It's like I said in the video, they're singing lullabies to us. Right? We don't need lullabies. We need to be inspired to do better. God, I haven't been to a khutbah in a long time where people would be crying for like a verse or the way that the imam was reciting the Quran. People would just be like, oh my God. And I think it comes from a spot where, hey, T-Mac, what's up? I love you too, man. I think people just gave up. And it's the thing is, if you're sincere, it's not hard to inspire people if you are sincere and you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and you love your people and you want to create a legacy within your own community. It's not hard. You just have to be willing to do the work and to say the things that are unpopular in your community. Right? I just think we're almost 2 billion people, but we're empty. And it kind of makes me think of the hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said basically, we will be many on the earth, but we will be like ghutha, like the foam that settles on top of the ocean. Insignificant. How can we be insignificant when we have the best deen and we have the best example, sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Sallallahu
If
alaihi wasallam.
if you want to give up, this is my message. If you want to give up on us, if you want to give up on your ummah, get off of the pulpit. If you've given up, if you're content being a victim and sitting on the sideline of life doing nothing, if you've given up love for your own people and your own ummah, then get off of the pulpit, get off of the minbar, get off. We want to see
Facts.
people and we want to hear people on the minbar that want to be on the minbar, that love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you're not in this, don't give the khutbah. Sit down and listen. You're the one that needs the help. You're the one that needs to
Yeah.
change your heart. And we just keep on going to these khutbahs and nothing happens.
Mhm.
Nothing
Yeah.
changes.
Agreed with you.
And,
Agreed.
and the guy was, ironically talking about today. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never change us until we first change ourselves.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. Sometimes like some people get their best sleep at the masjid during the Jummah. It's like very unfortunate. What like sometimes like I don't want to like get the riba of this, but it's not for riba purposes. But like some masjids that I go to, the imam like like the closing remarks, like sometimes like there's Alhamdulillah wa salatu salam, like just like the stuff at the end. He like rapid fires it like Eminem, like I swear to Allah, I swear by Allah, I'm not joking. Like one of the imams in a masjid that I go to does this. It's like
Well,
like you
speak to
can't even
him.
hear it.
Speak to him. You have a voice. Go up to him
Yeah,
and speak to him.
and
Also, on that note, I mean, with
yeah,
Ali's note, the mu'min is the mirror of his brother. If the
yeah,
khatib is not going to rekindle the fire of the listeners, then he's just going to cure their insomnia and put them to sleep.
exactly, man.
And
Uh,
in the hadith about the كغثاء البحر, the scum and rubbish of the ocean, um, it's they asked the Rasul, because he said the whole hadith is the people will soon summon one another to attack you, as people when eating invite others to share their dish. Someone asked, will that be because of our small numbers at that time? He replied, no, you will be numerous at that time, but you will be scum and rubbish like that carried down by a torrent. And Allah will take fear of you from the breasts of your enemy and last innervation or wehen into your hearts. Someone asked, what is wehen? Innervation, by the way, means fatigue. The Messenger of Allah وسلم, replied, love of the world and dislike of death. حب الدنيا وكراهية الموت.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
they
Definitely,
definitely
some
need to.
people we see. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing. Very like really, unfortunately, some people are like
Yeah.
this
Well,
to this
you know
day.
that quote where hard times create hard men and soft times create soft
Yeah,
men. We
exactly,
just have too
exactly.
many soft
Yep.
men, man.
Wallahi.
just
Yeah, you got that right.
just it's just making times even softer, whether they're affected by society or whatever it is,
Yeah,
or the liberal west or whatever. They just don't have the cojones to
yeah, man.
rekindle that fire. It's almost like they
Cojones.
walk in trepidation. They fear what they want. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they fear what they what it is. They might get locked up or
Yeah,
just speak the haq. I mean,
exactly. Yeah,
that's why
but
you notice most of our scholars and real warriors, they're either in prisons or dead.
yeah, like what the hell? Like they're prisoning sheikhs for making fatwas that like just basically like they're just saying, "Hey, hang on to the deen. This is wrong." And they're just getting
Not
jailed
even
for
not
it.
even fatwas. I mean, that one guy that everyone knows from Saudi. All he did was not even. He barely criticized cinemas. He said cinemas. He said they're not good for the youth. This and that. He didn't even say anything against the regime or all that. That's why these people
Yeah.
fear speaking, even getting close to criticism. They just have a
Well,
Mhm.
script to follow.
Snake, I don't know if you heard this, but the famous Qari, Sheikh Basfar, he led the prayer in Turkey, led the prayer in Turkey, and he received 12 years in prison for that.
Wow.
What the heck? Really?
Because of the old feud, I guess, between the Ottoman Empire age beef with Saudi Arabia. I'm like, bro, I just read that article today, like right before the show,
La
like 2 hours
ilaha
before the
illallah.
show.
Ridiculous.
La ilaha
Yeah,
illallah.
he was locked up since 2020,
La ilaha
Yeah.
and
illallah. These
they
people.
say the reason is because I guess he had a khutbah on evildoers. It says that the reason for the arrest is a speech about the doing evil and the duty in Islam to deny that in public. And of course, Muhammad bin Salman did not like that. And since 2017, there was basically all these large scale arrests. And most of these people that got arrested are human rights activists or journalists. even business people or clerics. And these are moderate clerics. I'm not even talking about extreme. But it goes to show you these are the colors are being exposed. God exposes these people.
Yeah,
We know them. Those who have eyes can discern who's on the haqq and who's on falsehood. But too many are just they fear speaking. They fear inspiring. I don't know what it is, you know. And like
yeah,
Ali said, if you fear that, well, jump down in the row and sit
Sit
with the
down.
rest of us.
yeah, man. Yeah, just listen, just learn, relearn how
We don't need
to
a sheep
give
up there. We need
khutbahs.
lions. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
what I love
and if you
about
look at
Surah
Islamic history, the
Alhamdulillah.
lions, these warriors, even the Rasul, they were at the front of the battle. They weren't in the back like the Romans who were chilling while all their slaves and servants and whatever fought. The Rasul was in the midst of battle, sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Sallallahu alaihi
You know,
wasallam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
these people led
But
by example, and it actually boosts morale when you lead by example. When you see, you know, like khutbah and all these guys, they were in the front of battle. It boosts morale. Why does it boost morale? Because they're inspired. You inspire people to follow.
Exactly. If you don't want to listen, if you like I said, you don't want to. Are you tired, bro? Do you need an iman boost? I got you. Sit down. You don't have to do the khutbah. Okay. You don't have to sing us to sleep. You want me to
Yeah,
get up and give the khutbah? Let me do a khutbah in that masjid next time. I can guarantee it's going to be different.
yeah.
It'll be
It
different.
becomes, you know, what it becomes, I think, Ali, is it becomes a monotonous chore or some kind of obligation that they feel they must do,
That's
as
the word.
opposed to, you know, as opposed to
Chore.
giving for the deen, for the
Chore
haqq.
is the word. Chore
Yeah,
is the word. Yeah.
yeah.
Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Well, let's. I think Ahmed, you wanted to say something. You're trying to cut in there, but
well, yeah, I just wanted to say, alhamdulillah, that we still have people who know about this. Alhamdulillah, we still have people who are spreading the message. And I think my main inspiration when it comes to giving khutbahs and basically talking about the deen is Imam al Bukhari, rahimahullah. When he was given a khutbah by his teacher, but instead of reading the khutbah to the people, he came up with his own. And he talked about changing the way to give khutbahs. I mean, like Imam al Bukhari, rahimahullah, is a real inspiration for us because he, instead of doing what is being done today, just read off the script, he came up with his own. And not just it's not that he just sat down and wrote something. He spoke of knowledge. He spoke like he went on a minbar and gave a speech, a speech. And that
probably from the heart.
exact it is from the heart. You know why, brother Ali? Because he wrote it himself. He didn't
Mm.
want to go according to a script. He didn't want to just read. He didn't want to just soullessly just read off a script,
Oh,
because
by the
that's
way,
not how it
Ahmed,
works.
the script point is actually accurate because in Saudi, as far as I know, every single mosque actually gets a printout. They get faxed basically from the central government of what to give a speech on every single Friday. Actually, every single mosque over there has to follow the same script. If you notice, there also is mukhabarat or cops in every single mosque. Now, I don't know if they're there to spy or to calm down Discord or anything, but there's also spies even amongst the listeners. But you have to follow the script. Every single mosque over there gives the same lecture on Friday. So speaking of scripts, I just found that relevant here. Yeah.
I mean, subhanallah. I mean, you can tell when you go to the masjid. You can tell on the Friday when somebody's like, "And alhamdulillah, nahmanu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shur." It's just like it's a chore. Do
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what you're saying? In
yeah,
alhamdulillah, nahmadu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Do you know what you just said? Did the people know
exactly.
what you just said? This is powerful. Even the opening of the khutbah, right? I just think, like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself, but bro, if you're low on iman, brother, please sit down here. I got you, and let the lion stand up on the minbar and roar because we got the energy to do that. We got the
Yeah,
heart, and if you need us, if you're in a point in your life where you're at a low iman, give me a chance. Give me a chance. I'm gonna get you where you need to
exactly.
go. So maybe you can give the khutbah next week and I'm low. I got you, bro. I got you. No
That's
problem.
what
Inshallah.
that's what we
And
should
also,
have,
by the
man.
way, on the
Yeah.
point of taking matters into our own hands, we also must play an active role in certain decisions at our local mosques or whatever, if especially we can fill those roles, inshallah, and be voices of change and reason and inspiration. Merely talking about them doesn't really get anything changed, but hopefully there's some listeners, and you may affect one person who may affect others, and so on and so forth. So there's always a first step, but also we can also take it upon ourselves sometimes to do certain things, whether it's to advise mosques or whatever the case, maybe even play that role ourselves or
Right.
teach our kids or whatever.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
just
I
one
mean,
last thing.
inshallah. Sorry, go on, me.
Just one last thing. Just one thing. When you gotta get on that minbar, it's not the fact that you're like shouting and screaming that makes people pay attention to you. Because some people will close their ears, like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?" No, it's not the fact that you're getting on there and shouting. It's the fact that you're getting on there and speaking sensible things. You're speaking facts. You're speaking good things, saying things that actually teach, that change lives, that wake up people. It's like shaking a person to wake up.
Yeah.
Some
Also,
khutbahs
Ahmed,
are
we have to
so amazing.
realize sometimes mosques and they think the organization of the mosque keeps the mosque standing. That is further from the truth. It's Allah who keeps the mosque standing. The minbar you're
Exactly.
standing on, it's
Yeah,
Allah that keeps that standing and keeps the walls and the foundations standing.
yeah,
And you're there to serve Him and to speak on behalf of the deen that He has
yeah,
given you as a gift.
yeah.
So
And you
do not
should,
tarnish it, you know?
yeah,
Here,
you should
here's
always,
here's
yeah. Go ahead, brother.
here's the last thing that I'll say, and then we'll wrap up because I know the super Habibi has to get to the super bed. Inshallah, he needs rest.
Yeah, he needs to sleep. He needs to
Um,
get a super sleep in.
this is the thing, right? This is what I want to say in a nutshell. I do read my comments on my TikTok, and please understand me and believe me. I'm not saying this to pump myself up. I am saying this to use myself as an example of comparison. Wallahi, I get sometimes I get many comments. Bro, Jazakallah khair. You make me proud to be a Muslim. Bro, subhanallah, the way you recite Quran made me want to try even harder to read the Quran. Bro, because of what you said of that video that you did about the shaitan whispering to you in the dark, now I have returned to my prayer. You know what that does to me? It pumps me up, bro, and it makes me want to try even harder. Now, my thing is this. With that being said, if a complete nobody like me, if a complete nobody who is not formally educated in Islam, except for a couple of years in Yemen and Egypt, but I'm nobody, I'm not even a da'i. If somebody like me can get somebody to return to their salah, to return to the Quran, to realize that, subhanallah, Ali, yes, we are people that fall down and the shaitan, you know, but I see that, Ali, you don't judge people and that you're trying to help people that leave, are Muslims, but, live sinful lives. If I can do that, why can't you do that on the membar every Friday? Why? If I can do that in 3 minutes, again, a complete nobody like me, nobody, why can't you do it at Jummah in front of so many people for your community? Why can't you do it?
Yeah. Me and
Yeah,
two
no, and
other brothers the other day. Sorry, I know, friendly, you have to go, but yeah, me and two
no,
other
no, I don't
brothers
have
the
to
other
go.
day
I
went.
just
Yeah,
wanna just
yeah,
clarify because
yeah.
I think it's very important about voicing opinions and connecting with them behind the scenes. Especially in the UK and in the US, there are initiatives going on, and they're just not getting the voices that they need to. And inshallah, that's something we're going to be
Good point.
highlighting
Yeah,
also in the next year or so. It's something I'm another side project that's in the pipeline, but it is really
inshallah.
connecting services and da'is to the masjid. You've got like Sapiens Institute in the UK. We want them that we want their poster in the masjid. Clear your doubts. Speak to a Hamza Zozis. Speak to these brothers that are up to date on what's going on in the world. And really connecting with communities and
Yeah,
reinvigorating and re-inspiring people to go back to the masjid and build
and
those communities
connecting
Absolutely,
back up.
and
absolutely,
connecting means speaking their
Inshallah.
language too. Yeah,
I'll tell you why that's so important. I don't know how much time you get, but I'll tell you why that's so important. What you just said, Super Habibi. Um, that's so important because when you go to the masajid these days and you say, you're a young man and you say, Sheikh, I don't know how to explain this to you, but like I have doubts, and I have like an addiction to this and that. And the imam would say, well, bro, read Quran. Okay, you need to return to your salah and read the Quran, and you need to make dhikr and awrad, which are all good things, by the way. This is like our prescription as Muslims. But then you need people like me that has spent 3 years in jail, in prison, maximum security prison, to say, hey man, I noticed that the sheikh was telling you to read the Quran and everything, but let's you and I talk. What's going on, man? Why are you addicted, man? And how can I help you? You know, there's that human element that we don't have as Muslims. We let the shaykh handle everything when they're not qualified. Just like I'm not qualified to give a khutbah, probably, in a reputable masjid. You're not qualified to talk to the youth when you haven't been through that life. If you're born and raised in Mecca or wherever, and you were rich and privileged and everything, you're not going to understand, the gangster mentality or somebody who was on their way to prison. You're not going to understand that. I can talk to him. I can tell you how it is in prison. I can tell you how painful it is and how exhausting it is being in prison for 3 years of my life. It's exhausting. It's dangerous. And whatever you're doing, speaking to this young youth, whatever you're doing, you're on your way to that life. And I can assure you, you're going to the graveyard or you're going to prison. And I'm here to tell you what prison is like. You want to know what it's like? You think you're going to be with all your homeboys inside of and you're all going to play dominoes and bro, it's being in prison is a battlefield, man. What are you talking about? You have to watch your back every second. And if you don't watch your back, your people are watching your back.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's not what you think it is.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think like just stop taking this view of prisons as being, oh, you have a bunch of friends in there. You're probably not even gonna make any. You're gonna have to be on your own sometimes, brother Ali. I don't want to let's talk about this because you know better, mashallah. You've been through this. You may be alone. You may be with friends. These friends of yours at prison, they may be reliable. They may not be. They may turn on you. Being in prison is basically being with those who have done horrible things. So, like to just build, let's say, quote unquote friendships and like trusting people in prison, it's gonna be a hard task, man. It's gonna be very
Mm.
hard. You're gonna have to find the right people, and trust me, sometimes you can't even find any, and you're probably not gonna find any. And I think what people expect in prison is like, oh yeah, homeboys and tattoos and whatever. But then when they go in there, it's a whole different story, man. And
boy.
yeah, I think you're right. You should talk about it. You should tell them about it. You should teach them to know this is not how it is. This is how it is. Wake up to reality. Shake them. They need, like, some people need to have this inspirational talk, let's say,
Yeah,
with a person that knows about the topic. Here's the thing, brother Ali. I can use this as like an analogy to the khutbah. So let's say a person who has like a gangster mentality, as you described it, goes to talk to a sheikh and says, "Sheikh, I don't know. I've been like this, and I don't know how to change it. I know it's bad, but I'm just addicted to it. I just can't get out of it. Can you help me?" Sheikh will be like, "Yeah, just go read Quran." Okay, sure, read Quran, but then there's also these things that this person has to learn about. This person has to get their eyes open to the reality of what prisons are, because trust me, if they just simply learn about the truth,
they will never even get near that thing anymore. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they will never
yeah. I want
even
to.
get,
Yeah,
they'll never even, just one second, they'll never even think about going, oh, I want to go to prison or live this life of gangsters and stuff. Because what it is like it's always glorified. It's like, oh yes, people in the car just shooting up some others, and then oh, you just drive by. This is how it's shown in movies. But trust me, man, the reality is it's something that you don't want to experience. And this is what people need. Some people need this. Some people need help with these thoughts that they may have. It's okay, everyone can have thoughts, but then what about the reality? What about the truth? What about the concerning stuff, you want to go make some friends at prison and be cool, but then is it going to be easy? Is it going to be hard? How hard is it going to be? Trust me, there are many things that they don't know. They just have this, they just have this basic knowledge about prison or about gangster life
Nobody
in
is your
general.
friend.
Yeah,
Nobody is your
exactly.
friend in
Yeah,
jail. Nobody.
yeah, yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. You need to talk to them. You need to say, hey, wake up. What are you talking about? What do you mean
Mm,
friends? What do you mean cool? What do you mean gangster? This is how it is. Just,
yeah,
and if they when they know about it, it's gonna be like just just a thing that goes off in their heads, like, wow, I
yeah.
needed this. And
yeah.
I definitely agree with you, brother Ali, on that point. You're right. Some people need these types of conversations. Some people need this type of guidance on the truth of some matters from people who have experience, who know about this. You go to a sheikh to learn about, let's say, a sharh of a verse in the Quran, or about a fiqh topic. Sometimes, maybe, like that's what you go to a sheikh to know about, like stuff in the religion. But then there are other things that a sheikh cannot really tell you about, because
Exactly.
that's outside of their knowledge, and that's not wrong. That's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, they're gonna help you by saying, "I don't know. Go ask someone with experience."
No,
And
it's
I
just
think, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
it's just like a woman who suffered a domestic violence. Her lip is bloody, her, black eyes, she's beaten. The last person that she wants to speak to is a man. Okay. And a man can't really understand where she's coming from. I mean, all men can empathize and say, God, that is so wrong. But she probably needs to hear it from another woman who might have suffered from domestic violence in the past. The, those two need to speak, not her and I, not the imam, but probably maybe the imam's wife or whoever, right? So different,
Yeah,
you have to different, God, I don't know what I'm saying then.
No,
yeah. I want to
yeah.
go off your earlier point. I know you're
Bro,
probably gonna end soon.
yeah, because
Just real quick, I know you're gonna end soon, but yeah,
I've been smelling chicken palau that my wife is cooked. See,
Oh
on
no.
Friday,
Oh,
yeah,
bro, I don't eat before I get onto the super halal vibes because it does something to my voice. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll wrap it up, inshallah.
yeah.
Inshallah.
I've
Bismillah,
seen
brother.
that look on Brother Maliki, and so you don't mess around when the food is around, because you see
Yeah.
another
Yeah,
guy. Even the handler has to shake because he's like, "Bruv,
Yep.
we ain't talking right now. The food's underway. Make it quick. You got 2 minutes."
yeah. Just real quick. I
Alright,
want to
okay.
add something to what Ali said earlier, and then I'll hop off. But going off of like the TikTok thing, me and two other brothers were talking the other day about creating shorts and creating videos to reach the youth, because obviously if you go tell them to go read a scholarly book, more likely they're not going to read anything. They barely read an article online. So you have to reach them, i.e., speak their language. Their language is this quick scrolling, these quick 5-10 second videos. But subhanallah, these 10 seconds are sometimes more impactful than a 30-minute or 1 hour khutbah. So we must also do our part. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some shorts together and
Inshallah.
take an active role. But yeah, you got to reach them, speak their language. That's why they look to people like Andrew Tate as their figures, because they don't really have
Yep.
Islamic figures. Who do they
Yep.
have? Can you blame
Yeah,
them?
And that goes back to the point I actually made earlier. That's why I think Andrew Tate could make a great da'i, because he could spread the Islam if he gets the correct knowledge. That is right, not just
yeah,
oh yeah, right off the bat. He needs to learn knowledge from the correct places. Now, if he does that, trust me, he's gonna be one of the greatest da'is there ever is. If he just gets enough time to learn properly, and to spread the correct stuff, not just some gibberish, right? If he gets to
Yeah.
Inshallah.
learn the correct
Let
stuff
brother
about
Ali go eat
Islam,
his food.
yeah, yeah,
Get
yeah,
me
just
get me
Inshallah,
saying,
get me a
brothers.
just
plate,
saying,
man. Ali, get me a
yeah, yeah.
plate. What is that? A
Uh,
All right,
Malaysian?
brothers. Well, look,
I'm I'm
I'm gonna
Okay,
say
cool.
assalamu alaikum to
I'm
you,
getting that
brothers,
look
because
again, friendly Muslim.
yeah, he's getting yeah.
Alright,
I
cool.
can
Yeah,
recognize the
okay.
look, brothers. So I'm gonna say
Alright, cool.
assalamu alaikum. If you go and jump down, I'll do some brief
Wa alaikum assalam.
housekeeping. Uh,
Okay.
assalamu
Well, it's
alaikum,
called
brother.
chicken pilaf.
Palau,
Yeah,
palau,
Oh,
chicken
nice,
palau.
What is that? Malaysian?
It's
yeah.
Bangladeshi.
Recipe
nice.
in the
Okay.
description for everybody. Assalamu alaikum,
Okay.
brothers. I gotta drop you down because yeah, brothers. Because when the man is hungry, it's not a pretty sight. I've been around when that's happened, and I've got housekeeping to do. So assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers. But he's got that look in his eyes, and don't mess with that look. But thank you very much for those who attended. We were hitting 40, 50 brothers and sisters up in here this Friday, and inshallah there'll be more to come. But a little quick shout out, very quick one, to a couple of people that weren't here but have been a big part of the journey also. So, quick shout out to my brother, Mr. E.A. Dawa, um, putting in the work, putting in hours behind the scenes with me, done stuff together, video editing, and doing everything he can to support the Dawa because, as you all know, the Dawa don't stop
Don't
basically. So,
stop.
like and subscribe and get to that EA Dawa. Oh, we've also had a little intersection from Medina Dawa. Oh, and EA Dawa was in the chat, but we have the Trinity basically. So if you're not aware, we've got EA Dawa. We've also got Medina Dawa. Also someone who you can also subscribe to. So if you did head up to EA Dawa, head on over to Medina Dawa. You'll see the link in his banner, and you'll probably go to Mr. and Mrs. Dawa. Some good videos, reaction videos coming from so. And once you go over to Mr. and Mrs. Dower, there's another link. And go over right in the corner, you're going to find a link to, that's right, Medina Dower. You know, she's getting very vocal, strong sister, voicing her opinion, and isn't afraid to go back and forth. Now, if you've done all that, brothers and sisters, and you still got time, little announcement. I got you, brother. I got you. Don't you worry. I was just giving you the spot. But the shop is online. If you don't know, head over to Super Halal Vibes. If you're on Maliki Click, go to Maliki Click. If you go and subscribe, the brother's doing the Super Halal Vibes, and there you're gonna find a little icon in there, and get yourself to Super Halal Vibes. Basically, the
Oh,
brother has got
that's
some super halal merch. Whew.
bro. That are halal, bro. Like ultra halal, man.
It's some good stuff. I've already put in an order. Stuff is coming, so you'll look out for that. But head on over to Super Halal Vibes. We've got more announcements coming in regards to that, brothers and sisters. But this production has been part of the Dawa United fam,
That's right.
brothers and sisters coming together for the sake of Allah and spreading this Dawa. Because you know what, the Dawa don't stop. If you didn't know, I've been your host.
Boom. I love that. I
Followed
love that.
by the Super Halal Vibes. I've been your Super Habibi, Brother Maliki Click. If you want to take it out, and any final words for the brothers and sisters.
You know, I just want to thank everybody for coming by. I enjoy these Friday nights with everybody, especially joined by Muslim friendly Muslim EA Dawa. We really are trying. We're coming from the heart. We're going. You know, we're really sincere. Look, we have. We really need to get in where we fit in. Is what I wanted to say. Sorry, I have food on my mind right now. As people in EA Dawa, we have specialists that cover certain areas. And so we really have to get in where we fit in, right? So that's what we're doing. So make sure that you head over to EA Dawa and support them. Um, as well, I wanted to say something about my clothing line, Super Halal Vibes. This is a clothing line where you can be proud of it. Your kids can wear it. It's symbolic. Like when I wear my merch and I have the hoodies, I have the shirts, I have the water bottles, I have everything, because I wanted to make sure that it's quality. Because if my people are gonna wear it, they're gonna look good in it. Period. And it's gonna be a good quality. And it is. It really, really is. I've had my shirt for 2 years now. Not a rip, not a everything's clean, the design's clean, the logo's clean. And this can get conversations started. Whenever I go, it doesn't matter who, if I don't dress like a Muslim, if I wear ball caps, when I wear my super halal shirt, it's like other Muslims know. It's like, oh, super halal. Hey, salam alaikum, Ak. Everybody knows that you're Muslim, right? I got stuff for women. I got long sleeve hoodies and long sleeve t-shirts for women, pink, purple, blue, white, black, gray, all kinds of colors. I have backpacks that say super halal vibes on the back. Imagine taking that to your university, super halal vibes, bro, total drip. I don't care if you're dripping in the UK and the US, it's drip, period, right? So, it gets conversation started with non-Muslims when I'm at the gym and I'm wearing my super halal vibe hoodies, hoodie. Non-Muslims will say halal. What is halal? Like I've heard that word before, and I've actually explained it mid-workout to non-Muslims. So, it's a brand that you can be proud of, and I've really, tried hard and designed this and thought about it hard, how to really make people look good, make us look good. If you don't want to wear Islamic clothing, you have a super halal vibe hoodie or a t-shirt or a sticker that you can put on your laptop or whatever to represent the deen wherever you are. You don't have to be ashamed to be a Muslim anymore. No, we're a proud people, and we're proud to say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and we keep it halal. We keep it super halal wherever we go. We want people to know we're here and we're representing this Muslim Brothers brand, super halal vibes, and we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're going to represent. So, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for their support on TikTok, on here, on YouTube. I really appreciate the support and the love that everybody's giving me. Super halal. Look, friendly Muslim. Super halal lunchbox, bro. That's the next one. That's it, bro.
All right. And on that note, brother, let's take it out so I can hit that
Let's
button.
let's go, man. All right. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Until next time. See you next time for the Super Halal Vibes next Friday.